All right, welcome everybody. I'm Coach Dixon. I'm coach here at Blanco High School in Texas. We're a 3A school. We're centrally located here in Texas. I'm about an hour north of San Antonio and about an hour west of Austin. My contact info here, if if you have any questions or anything about this presentation, I'm going to do 3 straight tonight. This would be the first one. We're going to go over formations, personnel, and practice structure of what we do here. All right. Who we are. We're a two-back gun play action team. We try to keep it balanced. My biggest thing is misdirection in the run and the pass game, and I think that's big, in a wing tee. And my first head coaching job, I was actually ran the slot tee, and the slot tee is very, very big in misdirection. So that's why I still have it a lot. We're a physical ball club, even though we're in the shotgun. I mean, our philosophy is we want to hit you in the mouth. We want to be able to come off the ball, great pad level, and control the line of scrimmage. We're going to throw the book at you, meaning we're going to have specials, plays that you probably haven't seen on film. We usually come up with 1 or 2 a week. We're going to come up with some unusual formations to see how you adjust to them, and just try to get you misaligned and give us an edge on a boundary or something to where we could get something. And then we're going to try to present the option in 3 different ways. And a lot of it depends on our quarterback, but we're going to try to do RPOs. We're going to read the defensive line doing a lot. We have some steal calls, what we call steal. And then, like I said, depending on our quarterback, whether we will run speed option that year or not. And it's not one of our biggest plays, but we will do it a little bit. All right, personnel. Here's what we look for in our personnel. Our quarterback, it's got to be a trustworthy kid, someone that can handle it. It's going to be there every day, not going to get in trouble at school, not going to get in trouble outside of school, that is going to be here every day. And then we want a playmaker. I really want a running quarterback over anything. We'll try to teach them to throw if we have to, but I believe in that +1 game in the backfield. If I could gain an edge by having a running quarterback, I think that puts a lot of pressure on a defense. So we always look for that type of kid. The F, that's what we call our running back, the F. Remember, I took over at Blanco wing T, so the F would have been what they probably would have had as a fullback. That's our best running back. It's going to be a downhill runner, can run in between the tackles, get it and go. Our H is the sniffer, is the H back. I've been very blessed at Industrial and here at Blanco. Our H back, when we go into our tight end sets, he actually can put his hand down in the ground. He can be a tight end too. And then we'll have a couple of sets where we actually have two tight end personnels or 2 H back guys in there, one being a tight end and one being the H back, and we take one of our receivers out. But that H back is a very important person of our offense. Our Z, that is our slot receiver. He needs to be the best athlete on the team usually. He's going to be used in multiple different ways. He's going to be a slot, but he's going to come in a lot of different motions. We're going to hand him the ball on some jet sweeps. He's actually going to come in motion and come around the quarterback, and then he can actually run counter. So and then he's got to run his pass routes and be able to catch the ball. So that's a very versatile football player for us. Our X is the split out to the right or to the left. He's just your traditional wide receiver. The Y, I call that the split out to the right. It's a traditional wide receiver. If I don't have what I would call traditional wide receiver, it's going to be a tight end, and then we would be tight end wing or tight end H back if we have to, and that's what the Y would go to. And that's our personnel with them. Our offensive line personnel, here's what I look for. The center needs to be the smartest offensive lineman to me, because before we snap it, he's going to let our guys know if it's a 4-man front, 3-man front, Is it a 31? Is it a 13, 22? I mean, he's going to yell out some numbers real quick just so if he can see what they're in. And, got to be able to have a guy that can recognize that, identify the mic so we can identify who we're going to read on certain things. He needs to be quick because he's got to block the nose guard. And here this year, I think every team but two we played was an odd man front. And so that's why we asked for them to be quick. And it's usually our smallest offensive linemen. They're usually undersized. Guards need to be athletic because we're going to pull somebody on 90% of our football plays. And it's usually our guards. So they have to be able to pull, and they got to be able to run. Tackles, I like them tall, long, rangy, and then I like them to be physical. I'm very fortunate right now. Our left tackle is about 6'4", and he's tall, long, and rangy, and he fits that part, and he's pretty physical. This is where we started messing with people. Formations. We're going to get unbalanced. I once was told when I was first started to become a play caller, I talked to some guys, and one thing they told me was when you face a balanced defense, like a 50 defense, an odd defense, or you face a 4-3, get unbalanced as an offense. If that defense is balanced, you get unbalanced. If you face a defense that's not balanced, say a true TCU 4-2-5, where they're going to put that fifth DB to the string, get balanced as an offense. And so I really take that to heart now. The way that we get unbalanced, one way that we do with our receivers is simply by the words over and flip. Over has an R in it. So if we go early, over, that tells all our receivers to go to the right because it has the R in it. And they line up in their trips formation the way they would in regular early. So the X is the outside guy. The Y is now the middle guy, and he was earlier, and the Z is the slot. But two of them have to be on the line of scrimmage. And not in early, not in early and late. So our tight end is now covered up, and our tight end will know not to go out. And we'll do different things. We'll bunch, we'll squeeze them in right next to that tight end. We'll do a bunch of different things. And then we can also get in our unbalanced formations out of our two-back stuff, our sniffer. And we do the same thing, green, over. Now that puts all three receivers to the right, and that's the formation that two of them have to be on the X and the Y. Both have to be on, the Z is off. And we will still run a lot of our stuff. I just tell that middle guy he can't go. So he knows he's always behind the line of scrimmage. So whatever pass concept we have, he knows he's the low man that he can't go, off of that because he's covered up. But that's something that has really stuck with me, and I think it's really helped us, is when you face a balanced defense, get unbalanced on offense. And when you face a unbalanced defense, go balance on offense and find out where they shift that extra guy and run opposite of him. So that's helped us quite a bit. Here's us working some pods. So I'll pause this real quick. Like I said, this is a full team one. It's one of the biggest, and this coming year, I've got to break it down more like Coach Simpson does. But right now, I did it as a full team one. On the right side, we're running our jailbreak, and and down here on the left, we're either running counter or butt. It depends on what day it is which pod we're running. I usually don't have a kid sitting in the middle of the field. That's actually my son. He's having knee surgery later that week, and his knee's messed up. So he actually got to sit down and get the balls to our quarterbacks. Usually there's no one sitting on our field. You'll see me in the middle. I'm going back in between both of the pods going, and it's a continuous drill. So this group's running here to the right, The other group is going to their right, and we're just going in one big circle of running a bunch of different plays, and everyone's getting reps. So we have 3 different sets of offensive line. So this was counter H to us. So we just ran counter H to the right. We just ran jailbreak to where we ran counter with it or buck, and then we're running a tunnel screen. And you'll see those guys hustling down to get into the next pod. My offensive line coach and quarterbacks coach are down here calling out the run play. My receivers coach, and this year I was fortunate enough to have a second offensive line coach. He is over there at the other end watching them run the jailbreaks. The receivers coach is calling which screen we're running. It could be a bubble, it could be a now, or it could be a jailbreak. And we're just getting as many reps as we can and getting this. This is all done on air. This is earlier in the week, so it's on air here in this next one. We're starting to put a defense out there. And you always have that one kid that frustrates you. I got a kid on the film that he's an inside linebacker, and he's supposed to be going with the guard pulling, but he knows we're running a jug, and he keeps flying out there and kind of always got me upset with it. But you can see us, we're blocking down here. We're teaching that running back to follow that guard or that tackle, whether we're running buck or counter. We're teaching that running back to follow that puller, get with them and hit into those hurdles. And it's really helped our running backs be patient, letting the play develop, and then finding that hole and sticking it up into that hole and stuff. And these are a great thing. I got a hold of Coach Simpson. I've got his books here. Made those hurdles just like he showed on his YouTube channel. And I think they're 5 foot. Our guards use them. I will say if you're going to run buck sweep counter and you're going to pull, these hurdles are a great thing. We actually have another set on our defensive field now where our secondary coaches are backpedaling and they're going through hurdles. We do a special teams drill where we have 8 hurdles across our field where our kids have got to avoid, we're working, say, kickoff real quick. I'm getting off topic, but we're working kickoff to where they got to avoid ball side or not, and they got to go, and we go through the hurdles and stuff like that. These things have been very beneficial to our practice scheme, offensively, defensively, and special teams. And then, so this was a couple of years ago with me at Industrial.